Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe down below to become part of my PJ squad, which is always awesome. And as always, comment down below what you guys would like to see next, or if you just want to hop down there and say hello, I will be answering as many comments as I can. And like this video if you like these types of videos and you'd like to see more. And without further ado, let's get into this. So today I am showing you guys two recipes on how to make slime without glue, borax, activator, no nothing. And I'm doing this because I know a lot of you guys can't afford slime and maybe your parents won't let you have regular slime or something like that. And I was in that situation quite a while ago. I didn't have any glue and I searched for hours on the internet to find recipes. And these are the two that I'm going to show you are my favorite and the ones that I think work the best. So for the first recipe, this is the second one, by the way. For the first one, you literally will only need one thing, and that's clay. So I have this little piece of clay here. Now, this first recipe obviously is going to be super fast because it's only technically one recipe. But if you guys can get your hands on some Model Magic clay, Daiso clay, pretty much any type of air dry clay, you can literally do anything with this. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's just clay. Like, that doesn't count as slime. But clay can take on a lot of different things. So if you add color to this, you can add add-ins, you can add a scent, you can add water to make it stretchy, you can add lotion to make it stretchy, you can add baby oil, you can really add anything to this. And if you add those ingredients, it will become pretty much like a slime. And this is just from me warming it up with my hands, and it's already like nice and stretchy, and you can make swirls, and it spreads. So if you guys can even get your hands on just this tiny amount like I have here, you could do so much with it and it'll be just like a regular butter slime. So I think it works really, really well. So for the second recipe that I'm going to show you guys, you will need some cornstarch. If you don't have any, flour will work. I just particularly like cornstarch better. And you'll need some dish soap. I'm using Dawn, and I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, you don't need any specific kind, just some dish soap. Obviously, a container to mix your slime into, and the mixer that you're going to use to mix it together, because this is kind of a messier recipe. You can also, of course, use any type of like paint to color it, or food coloring. Again, you can use any add-ins that you want. You can use scents. Just, go wild with this. So I don't know if there's an exact ratio that you're supposed to use for this, but I just started with a smaller amount because, if I add too much dish soap, then I can always fix it without making like a humongous amount of slime. So first, like I did, you're going to add some cornstarch into a bowl, and then you're going to add your dish soap. And I just kind of add a little bit over time, because if you add too much, you'll be kind of in that instance where, oh, too much dish soap, oh, too much cornstarch, and just keep going back and forth. So this is about how much I'm going to add, and then we're going to mix it together. When you mix this together, you will see it to start to clump together. As you can see right there, it's kind of clumping. And of course, that is supposed to happen, and you really want to watch it, because if you make it too sticky, then you won't be able to play with it. So you're going to use less dish soap than you actually think. That's why I recommend you add it in very small increments. So mine has turned into like a bigger, crumblier form of cornstarch, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more dish soap. So as you can see, it probably hasn't changed too much, but I will say, like, I'm going to put a stress on it to make sure that you guys take your time with this, because you want to make sure that the dish soap has fully incorporated before you add more. And it also helps, at least for me, to push it down into the container, because that helps me to see if it's going to stay together or not. And if it's still crumbly, then I add more dish soap. So once that you can see there is like a paste that starts to form at the bottom here, that's when you're going to want to try to goop it together as best as you can and start to work with your hands. So I'm going to lay it out on the table first and try to get all of it out, and then I'm going to work with my hands, and that way you can like really get a feel of how you want it to like feel and what texture you want it to be. If you want to add more cornstarch, or if you want to add more dish soap, that's really up to you. And of course with your hands you could just feel the texture better, so and mix it together better, so it's a lot easier. So I've pretty much gotten it to the texture that I like, and like, okay, so I will say, since that isn't glue and activator and stuff, it isn't the stretchiest in the world, and it can leave some residue on your hands, but it is really easy cleanup. Just from experience, I can get it off my hands really fast, and it doesn't, like, I've dropped this on the carpet while I was trying to make it like a bunch, and it doesn't stick to your carpet. So if your parents have a problem with slime getting into the carpet, this is an easier alternative that won't get stuck as long as you pick it up when you drop it. And so as you can see, it kind of rips really easily, but that's because I use cornstarch, and I think that is the better option. I have used flour as well, but with cornstarch, you can have two different types of textures. So as most of you probably know, if you mix cornstarch in most any liquid, you will create oobleck, but if you add dish soap, it kind of creates like this slime texture, and you can choose if you want it to be stretchy, so you go slow, kind of like when you play with oobleck and it's still a liquid, or you could stretch it really fast and it just breaks like so easily, and like the texture is so cool. Like, it's super smooth and nice, and you can mold it really well, and then like depending on how you play with it, it's either super stiff or it's super stretchy. So this is a great way to do this, and since you add dish soap, it usually smells really good. So once you get to this point, you can obviously customize it as much as you want, whether you want to add color, scent, whatever you'd like to do to it, but this is pretty much the final product. And let me know if you guys make this, and I'd like to know how it turns out for you guys. So I decided to add both together, like both the clay one and the cornstarch one, and it kind of got like really hard. So I don't recommend doing that, but it's like, these are really fun experiments, and like these two recipes I really wish I had known when I couldn't buy slime and I couldn't make slime. So that's why I wanted to do this for you guys, because I thought you guys would want to know. And of course, like I said, I want to know how yours turns out, and if you use flour instead of cornstarch, let me know how that turns out. Personally, I think that it's a little stretchier than cornstarch, but you don't get those two like outcomes if you stretch it really fast or stretch it really slow, and it doesn't have like a really smooth texture like this one does. It's more doughy, like if you made like pie dough or something. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want any other slime recipes, tutorials, whatever. Even if they're fails, if you'd let me know down below, I will try them on camera and we can see together if they work or if they don't. And if they do, then you guys could make those as well, which would be really nice. But besides that, just remember to let me know if you tried this, because I'd love to know how they turned out. And like this video if you enjoyed this and you want to see more slime recipes, maybe even fails, because I think they'd be funny. And if you guys have suggestions, like I said, I'd love to do them. So with that, I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.